All right, this video is going to be a quick demonstration of a sissy squat and also a twisted version of the sissy squat, which is a good way to just kind of feel yourself around the movement here, because it's hard to balance and it's hard to find the sort of engagement you need to actually come down low while you're doing this. And you bring yourself into a motion where you're lowering yourself down toward basically like a limbo when you're dancing and trying to come down underneath a stick. And so this is the sissy squat. Why it's called the sissy squat, I have no clue. If that bothers you, you can call it something else. But basically, from here, coming into that sissy squat. So basically, this is a body weight movement, and the deeper you can take this, the better. And I can bring this down relatively low. This is a good prep for back bending, keep in mind, because it stretches out and engages everything between the knees, the front of the pelvis, and helps you to open up your chest a little bit. But most of the action is from the knees to the pelvis to really get into the hip flexors. Now, as you're coming into this, if you're going to give this a try, just bring your hands about, or bring your, not the hands, but the feet, about hips width distance apart, heels in and toes out. So a little bit of a rotation here. And then go ahead and lift your heels. Bring the weight to the toes. Engage your glutes right away and keep your hips pressed forward. Don't lose that forward press of the hips. So keep some tension in the glutes. Now, I'm going to recommend you start this out with at least a counterbalance. Start to bend the knees. Heels stay high. And just sink this down bit by bit. Now maybe just come down a little bit. This could be good enough. And you can bring yourself back up, but again, keep that engagement all the way. And if you're going to take it down further, again, lift the heels, glutes engaged. And I recommend just looking forward here to start. Now, if you really want to take this deep, keep sinking down, keep the heels lifted, keep the knees wide. And just take this down as far as you're ready. Let your chest open up. And the hands are kind of there as a counterbalance. You can bring this self down as low as you like. And then again, come all the way back up. And it is hard to hold your balance while you're doing this. If you really want to push it, and I don't know if I'll be able to take this all the way, I'm going to try to lower this and touch my knees to the floor and still come back up to standing. Let's see if I can pull this off. So again, heels lifted, glutes engaged, hips are forward. Now I'm going to reach this forward to start, and I'll probably change my hand position as I bring this down really low. Now if you want to let your head go back, feel free. I can't really balance it that well like that myself. Keep the engagement as best you can. The knees are still going forward. I'm going to bring my hands out wide, try to just touch my knees to the floor, or get as close as I can. Oof. Now this is the hard part, pull back in, oof, and bring it back to standing. That wasn't really the smoothest way to come up. There are people who can pull that off very slowly, and you can do this even at a deficit where you have your feet elevated on a block, or I've seen this on basically large plates that you would use for lifting weights, and you can bring your knees actually down lower than your toes. But that's just a way to practice this from here. Now, if you need to scale this out, a good way to do this is a twisted version of this. So the lower body is going to be with the same action here, but you twist the upper body. So again, I'm going to lift my heels. My feet are still hips width distance. And glutes engaged, hips forward. Now this time I'm opening to the side. The forward arm is as a counterbalance. The back arm is just going to come down to the midline of the mat behind me. I'm going to just bring this down low, take it nice and slow. I recommend not really looking at that back hand, but bringing it down as low as you're able. See about touching the floor. Once you do, try to come up with some control. And I'll bring this down to the other side to even that. So my right arm is forward, my left arm is back. And again, glutes engaged, hips lifted. Let the knees stay forward. Take it slow. Keep that engagement through the front of the body so the glutes are pressing the hips forward even as I come down low. And I'm going to bring it back up. And a good way to scale this is to have something in your hand. All right, so this block is going to give me around 10 inches or so. That I don't have to come all the way down. And I do recommend doing this with that sort of twist because you can emphasize the action of the lower body without worrying too much about coming down super deep. And this is usually a little bit easier here because you're obviously kind of distributing your weight differently with that twist. So when you're bringing it down, just bring the block behind you. And all you want to do is touch the floor. You don't have to go super deep. And then come back up. You could set it down, try to pick it up. And again, I'm going to take it to the other side and just take it down slowly. Woo! You lose your balance once in a while. Heels lifted, glutes, Let me try that again. So heels lifted, glutes engaged. And then again, just sinking down. Take it down slowly and work this as best you can. And then you can bring it all the way back up. And another way to feel this out too, if you want to come toward the full sissy squat, is just to have something like this as something that your knees can actually touch. So I know when I'm down, my knees can actually come to this position. I'm actually going to move it out just a little bit here. So I know when I'm low. So if you want to give it a try like that, and you could set up 2 blocks, you could have something else in front of you, but something that's elevated. So again, I'm going to reach this forward, and this is just a straight front to back version here. Glutes engaged, hips lifted, knees go forward, and you keep the heels high. Take it slow, and then once you're down and you touch the block, you know you can bring it back up. And that's a good way to scale this out if you're working on this movement from here. And when you come out, I do recommend a little bit of twisting because you're probably going to start to feel this at the base of your spine. Hope this helps.